Welcome to TechBrothersIT. In this video, we're going to talk about Delta Lake. Delta Lake is an open source storage layer that brings asset transactions to the Apache Spark and big data workloads. It allows scalable, versioned, and reliable data lakes. So what are the benefits of Delta Lake? Asset transactions, so we know that we have to perform updates, delete, and all those different transactions. Scalable metadata handling, time travel, query old versioning, and the unified batch plus streaming support. So Delta Lake is supported by the Apache Spark pool here, and we can create those Delta tables and all that. Now, important is Synapse Spark Pools support Delta Lake with using Parquet based format. So you will need to use a Delta Lake compatible cluster Spark 3.0 and above. So here we are creating some sample data. I have this data variable, the array that is containing a few of the items. Also, there are 3 items in this one. Then I have columns on name, country, and sales. Then I'm creating a data frame called df, and I'm using spark.create data frame function to create the data frame. And here's the data, sample data, and here's the column. Now here is defining the Delta Lake path in ADLS Gen 2. So just to let you know, with the Delta Lake, you can create in any storage such as S3 or GCS bucket and all that. So here we are using ADLS Gen 2, and here is our Delta path. So we have a container arm here, and here is my storage, and the rest of that everything stays as is. So this is going to stay as is, and then you are providing a folder here and then a subfolder here. So this is we are calling this Delta, and you can call anything, but I just call it Delta, and under this one I have sales data, and then everything goes under this sales data. So once we have this path defined for this Delta Lake, then we will be creating a Delta table. What is Delta table? A Delta table is a special kind of table built on top of a Delta Lake format. Now it stores the data in Parquet files, but with the extra features like transaction logs. So I will show you where exactly it saves the transaction logs, and schema enforcement and versioning. Make it more behave like a database table that we have seen in SQL Server and other database management system. So it is going to be just Parquet files, but there would be extra file created with it that will be keeping the transactions log for all those changes, but we make maybe insert, update, delete, and all that to that Parquet files. Now Delta table is equal to Parquet files plus a transaction log. Behind the scene, a Delta table is just a folder in your data lake that contain Parquet files along with hidden underscore delta underscore log directory that tracks every change, insert, update, and delete. So don't get confused with this too much. Just what you are doing, you have this storage. In the storage you create a folder, and then you're creating a Delta table that is a Parquet file, but also have this directory that contains the log for the insert, update, and delete. Now how we write the data? So remember that we have created this data frame. So data frame is nothing but a list of columns and rows, and it's behave like a table, and it's in memory now, and we can write this data frame to the Delta table. In previous videos I showed you how you can write the data frame to the CSV, Parquet, or JSON files, but here we are writing this data frame to the Delta table. So df.write and format, here you will say Delta, and then you say mode overwrite. So I'm overwriting if the records exist already. Save, and then I'm providing the path. So this is the path it would like to save under this sales data. Okay, great. Now we can go ahead and execute this, and I'm gonna go and execute. My session is timeout because I gave enough time to let it timeout. I have 5 minute settings for my cluster, and that's why. So I'm gonna run this one. It's gonna restart, and then we will take from there. Okay, so please wait for a few minutes while your session starts. So this is going to take a couple of minutes before it starts. Meanwhile it starts, I'm going to take you this to Synapse container in this storage and show you some folder structure there. So here I'm on the portal, and then in the portal I'm on this storage right there. That's my storage account, and in the storage account I have containers, and one of the container is called Synapse container. Under this Synapse container I have different folders. As of now you can see that I don't have the delta folder. So this will be created as part of when we are going to create this table. So once we create the table, it's going to create this folder, and then it's going to create this folder, and under that we will have Parquet files, and also we will have delta_log directory that will contain our JSON file for our transaction log. Okay, great. Our cluster is ready, and now it is running, and we can run the different cells here. So this cell is running right now, and we should be seeing some actions here. So let's take a look here. So if I go and it's running, so it took some time to even start the cluster, and Apache Spark session is started, so it's all good. Now if I go back here and let's refresh, and I'm going to show you it's still not creating any. Okay, here it is. So delta is created, then _delta folder sales data is created, and then you can see that _delta log is created. So still we don't have much data here. So once this cell will complete, now it is completed, looks like it is completed. Okay, so you can see that it has completed now, and now we can go ahead and take a look. So it has written this our data frame data, so that we have a sample data. It has created this delta folder, and under the delta folder it has created a sales data folder, and then have written the Parquet files and the data log that make it a delta table for us. So here is our sales_data. So you can call this as a delta table overall, because this contains our Parquet files, that's our actual data, and then it has _delta log that has JSON file for the inserts, updates, or deletes. So right now we just inserted the records, and that's the information it has. So you can see from here. Okay, so you can see all the data right here. This is a log, has all that information. Now let's go ahead and take a look how we can read this delta table. So to read the delta table into DataFrame, so we are saying df_delta spark.read format, and read. This is a delta, and we want to say .load. So load this from this path. So this is a command you will use to get the data from your delta path for the where the delta path is nothing but the path to your delta table. And here is you will be saving this to the data frame, and once this loaded into the data frame, we can say df_delta.show. It means that we want to show the records right here. So now it is reading all those records, and then it's going to show us right here. So finally our output is ready, and you can see that we have name, country, and sales, and you can see that we have country Canada, USA, and UK, and we have 3 records from there. Now as I said that this delta tables are you can make them update, delete, insert, and all those kind of things can be done. And once you do that, more transaction logs files will be created. So as of now you can see that this is only one JSON we have. So let me refresh just to show you. So this was created when we did the insert. Now we are going to go ahead and make some changes. So Delta Lake supports update using the Delta Table API or Delta Table class. So here is our Delta Table class here, and now we are saying Delta Table is equal to Delta Table dot 4 path Spark and Delta path. So we convert path into the Delta Table object. So we created that object here, and now once this object is created, we can go ahead and perform update on it. So I'm saying Delta Table dot update, and saying in the condition saying column country equal to USA, and make some changes to the sales column, and saying column sale is equal to sales plus 5. So wherever you find this record, let's say you find USA 5000, you make it 5000 plus 500, so 5500. So if I go ahead and execute this one, and now I'm gonna go ahead and execute this. Okay, this is completed, and now if I go back, I can before I go back, I can simply read this again, this cell over, and what's going to happen, and now we are going to see the new value. So you can see the new value where US is equal to 5500. See right there. Okay, great. So we see that the update has happened. Now let's go back to this folder where our transaction logs is. So see right there. So every time you're making some updates or deletes and all that, a new JSON file is getting created. If we click right there, then we can see what changes it has done. So you can see right there all those changes, what where USA and sales is equal to this. So you can see the changes right there. So this is how you will make the changes or update or delete. Same way you can may make deletes and maybe insert more records and all that. So in this case, let's say we already have some records, and now I want to go ahead and say Amir 1, and then we can say Canada 1 and Bob 1 and Lisa 1, and then this is a path we have just creating a data frame again with the new data. And then instead of overwrite, we don't specify overwrite because we want to just leave that as is, and then we can actually expand that. Okay, so that's possible as well. As we don't want to overwrite, we can append and append. And now if I run this cell, remember that there are only 3 records, but we have changed to the name with the 1, and then now should have 3 plus 3 records. So there should be 6 records into the delta table. So let's say let it complete, and now then we can go ahead and execute the second. That's we are reading it back the delta table, and then it should show us a 6 record. If I will go back here and if I refresh this folder, I should see another file here, and you can see that that's where it should show us the values such as Amir 1 and Robert 1 and all those kind of things. So you see right there. So that's we also inserted these new records into the delta table. So but if you go to the sales data, here are those Parquet files. So we are creating whenever we are loading the data, Parquet files are created, and then the log for those Parquet files is here, delta underscore log, that contain the transaction log. So now if you go and see right there, our delta table has these many records. Okay, great, we have learned how to update and all that. And here if we want to do something, let's say query updated data, we could have actually we did on top of that as well. So there is no need for this one because we have already read the same file here, and I reran this cell to show you the data. So I hope you learn what are the delta tables, how you will see the transaction log out of them, and where this file save the data as a Parquet files, and how you can make update statements or insert the new data to them or overwrite if you needed. So I thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.